And we are live. Hi, everyone. Hi, Andrea. Every Monday, we go live with women from around the world, and we like to bring women on to show that, you know what, no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, we are valuable in this moment. And we're most valuable with those who are closest to us, and that would be our family and our neighbors and those, hi, Karenza, and those in our just closest to our sphere. And today we have Andrea from the ads agency. I got to know her through my co-host Tim Lewis from my other show, Oh No, Not Another Live Show, and Andrea is here from Georgia. So Andrea, thank you for being here. I'm so excited.
Thank you. I'm excited. Happy Monday. Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
We were chatting before the show because I've interviewed Andrea before with my other show with Tim, but I told her we like to go a little bit deeper here, and I want to hear your story. But let's start with the question I always like to begin with. What are you grateful for today, Andrea?
Oh, gosh. So, I mean, I would say, what am I not grateful for? But, oh, Tim's here. Hey, Tim. I'm grateful for this opportunity to be here with you, on a show where you talk about, you talk with women around the world, and I get to be, it from Georgia today. Grateful for this cool mural. Oh my gosh, Christelle, I just did this mural back here. And it's like all this on this weekend.
For your TikToks. Is it for your TikTok?
It's not for TikTok. This is my new office. So I'm in a fixer-upper home right now that I just moved to this summer, and this was a part of I was playing interior designer with my new little office, because my office before was in a tiny little apartment, and it was like a sliver of space behind my couch, so there wasn't a true dedicated wall space. It was so ridiculous, and now I have this nice space, so I was like, oh my gosh, let me plan it to the T. And so I had waited for this thing for like months to get here, and then I had to like hang wallpaper. So anyway, I am truly grateful to have that mural out.
That's so cute. I love it. And well, wherever you were before and doing your TikToks, it was super cute. I mean, you're always fun and animated, so that was super cute. Andrea, I want to ask you about your story. I want to, because you own your own business, you own your own ad agency, you have phenomenal clients. So tell me a little bit of your background and how you got to where you are.
Yeah, so actually, Christelle, you might be interested to know. Forever, I was pre-med forever until my junior year in college. And that was just I call that, I don't want to say young and dumb, but just kind of young and naive, like a very rose-colored glasses view of healthcare. And like what medicine would be like, and so now that I'm not in that space, I totally had like a change of heart after I took the whole MCAT and everything, Christelle, like for real, like literally applying to med schools, and something really just hit me like, are you sure this is where you are supposed to be? Because something's not so sure, maybe this is not where you're supposed to be. And it just hit me so hard. And I was like, let me just pause and think about this, for a minute, before I go down that rabbit hole. And I'm so glad I did that, because now when I, I have doctor clients, I have, doctor friends, we all know doctors.
Yeah.
So many of them have these stories of colleagues who quit medicine. They went all the way through, they got to practice, they were doing all that, and they quit it all, because they just had a different calling. And now they're like, they opened up a cafe shop and they're doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad that I heard that voice, and it made me pause. And I had no clue what I was going to do. I was everywhere. I was like, HGTV was a thing. And I was like, maybe I can flip houses. I was everywhere. And it was not until, we get into medicine because we think it's such a noble, our parents will be proud. It's a noble profession. You're going to make good money.
Yeah.
It's either that or a lawyer, like that. Those are things smart kids do.
Yeah.
And, so how can you go wrong? But passion means so much. It means so much.
Yeah.
It really hurts my heart to hear people struggling in career fields that they're not into, and they're just dreading, it's just a plug and play job they can't stand. Even if they're good at it, it doesn't mean that they love it. And so anyway, girl, I could talk to you. I'm not trying to make this a super long story, but what I will say is that I was super lost, and I just figured to my 20-year-old self, however old I was at the time, the rest of the world seems to be business, and I have no business background. My whole family's in education, and they were like, go teach. Or, because my undergrad degree was microbiology, my dad was like, you should go to the CDC and do research. And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. And so had no clue, and I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna get an MBA, and MBA was kind of a hot thing at the time.
Okay.
And maybe I pray I'll figure it out in the 2 years that I have to be in that program. And then those were my first intro classes to marketing, to branding, nonprofit marketing, all that. I just started devouring those courses, after getting introduced to the first one. And it has just been my love ever since, and everything I've chased ever since.
And we'll talk briefly about this, but I want to ask you a little bit more in depth of other things, but you've been so successful on TikTok. Are you still focusing over there, or is it, but I've also seen you on YouTube and, you're kind of everywhere, but you've been really successful on TikTok. Are you still over there?
I am still over there, but I'm not as active as I was. I kind of, did that whole falling down the rabbit hole thing with TikTok and fell in love with it. It is addictive. It's designed to be addictive. So I was on that drug high of TikTok for a minute.
Yeah.
And so I kind of got off of that now, with I was telling you before, we're planning this big event coming for like 12 days. So that's kind of taken over my world the past months. However, once I get off of that, my pendulum can swing back towards some other things. TikTok for sure will be a part of that. So I have a video right now I'm supposed to post this morning about this vault. So
about your TikToks were so cute and so fun, and it really personality. So they were big and but I know you do that across. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this big event you're putting on. Who are you doing it with? How are you doing it? Tell us all information.
Yeah, so I volunteer as a business owner with the Atlanta Black Chambers here in Atlanta, and chair the Marketing, Communications, Advertising, and Tech Committee, which is a mouthful, but it's basically all the branding and tech people in the chamber, all the entrepreneurs who are in that space. And we were charged last year with putting on a signature event, kind of a big mainstay event that we could do every year. And we pulled together an event called Brand Tech Day, which is it's a 1-day mini conference that brings together branding and tech for entrepreneurs. And so it was in person last year. Of course, we had like 100, it was like our test pilot year. Like, will people come? Will they like it? Tim's like our conference champ. I'm so curious to know about, his feedback on a conference like this, but, it was a 1-day thing, and it was in person. We probably had like 100-ish total participants, which was really awesome. Okay. And this year, because of COVID, of course, we're having to, face that challenge of doing it virtual in its second year. So it's becoming what we have now dubbed the entrepreneurial virtual mini conference of the year. Okay. And so it's amazing because now we've opened it up. Now it's not just Greater Atlanta who can come because it's virtual. So we've got people coming from Alaska. We have people from Cali. Texas will be there. New York, Detroit's coming. And even one of our presenters is from Johannesburg, which is so phenomenal. You should totally meet her. She's phenomenal. Keely Bugil, she's awesome. And so we're excited. We're excited about, we're like, ooh, we're on like, like little kids. We're like on color the map mode. Like, can we color the whole map?
That would be rad.
Yeah. So we're excited about the whole thing. So it's Brand Tech Day, and it's coming up Saturday, October 10th. And, super excited. Anybody interested in that can go to brandtechday.com.
Brandtechday.com. I'll put that in the comments. Very cool. I love that. I love that you network so well. And now you get to network throughout the world. One of the things that Tim and I talk about a lot is the ability to either Zoom or to be able to interview people from around the world and how valuable that is. So we can hear voices outside of our bubble and kind of glean wisdom from everyone. And it's so important. So I love that you're doing that. Okay, I want to ask a little bit deeper questions, Andrea.
Yeah.
You've been very successful in what you do. You're in the middle of writing a book. What does success look like to you? What does that mean to you?
Success.
Success, yes.
Ooh, that is a good question. Go, girl. Look at you. That's like an Oprah question. I love it.
I don't know you.
You know what? Honestly, you know, my in the moment answer right now is success is happiness in what you're doing. You know, when you are operating, clicking in your space, you know, as my good friend Jazz Jones would say, it's a flow and not a force. You're really operating the space you were created to operate in. You're helping people who otherwise, you know, could not do the things that you do as easily as you do. You know, and at the same time, you know, you're getting rewarded for it. So, you know, you give and you also, you know, get that love back, you know, just because you are giving of yourself. And so to me, success at any stage, I mean, we are always chasing something bigger, greater for ourselves. We all have this, you know, what do they call it? Remember in Maslow's hierarchy, the pinnacle of that hierarchy was like self-actualization. I think it was where you are realizing the highest form of yourself. To me, that's success at any stage. You know, if you feel like you're in that space or you're at least climbing towards that space where you're trying to be the very best version of yourself that you can and that you feel you are meant to become, that to me is success. So, you know, whether you have the big $1 million-ish home and all those, you know, lovely things that everyone would love to have, whether you have those things or ever get those things or not, you know, if you're operating in that space where you're always, you know, seeking to become that best version of yourself, to me, that's success.
Mm-hmm. Who inspires you?
Oh gosh. Ooh. Okay. There's several people. Okay. So, top of mind right now is Janice Bryant Howroyd. I don't know if you ever came across her, but she is the world's first Black female billionaire. She was a young, spry thing, gorgeous, and she's like from the Carolinas, and then she, in the 80s, moved to Cali and, you know, married a guy. She ended up marrying a guy who was in staffing, but even before that, she was already, you know, creating this world of staffing that she kind of stumbled into, you know, thanks to her family and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, just became this awesome adventure for her. And she grew that into $1 billion business. Phenomenal, amazing just to hear her whole story. And one of the things she says is literally tacked on my wall right now. And it's part of when I do morning affirmations, it's part of this, you know, something I say to myself. And because I'll never forget it. And I saw her in person. She said, I am an excellent steward of my clients. And I say that to myself now because, you know, that's really what it's about. You know, if we can excellently take care of others, you know, that will automatically come back to us. You know, so people like that, I totally listen to. So yeah, Janice Bryant Howroyd. I could name fabulous people like the obvious, like Michelle Obama and Oprah and, you know, Ellen DeGeneres, all the, you know, fantastic, wonderful limelight people. But, you know, honestly, it's even people like, of course, like my mom, of course, I could say her for so many reasons. I'm trying to think of somebody else that might be interesting for you to hear about. Yeah, I'm going to put Janice Bryant Howroyd on that list. Maya Angelou was on it for a long time. Toni Morrison on it for a long time. They still are on my list of people. But yeah, I would say those are some people who inspire me a lot.
You said Toni Morrison. Did you is that who you said? Toni Morrison? Did you read any of her books? I haven't read any of her books yet, but she's been on my list for a long time. Beloved. I've been wanting to read that forever.
That is so good. Yeah, it's so good. Sometimes it's a little scary in the book because I'm not a scary person. Like, I don't like suspense and all that kind of thing. But yeah, it's so well crafted. I read that way back in high school. So it's definitely a good read.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think she did The Bluest Eye also. And that was good. So yeah, she's just so wonderful. And just recently, this clip came across my feed of her talking about racism, which I thought was so poignant right now. And she was talking about how some people really feel like they have to make people feel smaller than them in order to feel like they are something. And she posed the challenge, like, take Black people out of it. Are you still tall? Are you still smart? Do you still like yourself, without having someone to say that, they're smaller than you? Are you a great person without all that? And I thought that was such a great way to flip the script on people. So clever like that. So
I love that.
yeah.
Maya Angelou is someone that I absolutely love. Tell me a little bit about why she's one of the people that is your hero or who you kind of look up to.
She just lived her life. She just absolutely lived her life in a time where, that was so discouraged and Black women in particular had such a small, narrow lane to play in. She just threw all that off and said, I'm just going to be me. And she danced and sang and learned like over something like 17 different languages. Ridiculous. I only barely know like hola and grazie mille. Like small phrases. Like, how does somebody love language like that? But she was a masterful, she was masterful at language and she loved it. And so, just to hear the breadth of the things she got involved in, she did. How everyone's like niche, 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 like being a super niche. She was not a niche, she was more than just a poet. Not that her, poetry and her writing was not phenomenal, but she did what she wanted to do in life. And, that took her to some amazing places. And put her before some really great people and on the world stage. And I love the fact that she did all that just by being herself is how I take her life. She just was her. And even though there wasn't a mold for someone like her, she just allowed herself to be herself and it was amazing. So I find a lot of inspiration from that.
I love that. We're gonna cut our show a little bit short today, so I want to make sure I ask about your book.
Oh, yeah.
In the middle of writing a book. Tell us about your book and your inspiration behind it.
Yeah, so it doesn't have an official name yet. So currently the project is called the Scotland book because it's about, my time in Scotland and how that was so life-changing, transformative. I do not think I would be who I am and where I am now without that experience whatsoever. It totally opened my mind and was such a test of faith, really, because I can't even begin to start to tell the plot of the story right now because it will take too long. But it had to do with this global company who was based in Scotland, and I got started in the North American headquarters just as, with a title that I didn't even really love. I was like marketing specialist, and I was like, specialist, like that sounds like something you give someone straight out of high school or something. Then I learned like the UK has such different terms for roles and whatever. So, and in any case, through a very interesting series of events, I ended up getting asked to ultimately come to Scotland. Well, really it was starting with some M&A work, some merger acquisition work, and doing project management, which was nothing to do with my marketing background. And it's only because the VP in the company asked me to do it. And it was really one of those moments like, well, you do know what I do, right? Like, this is not really what I do. But I mean, he was like, you have attitude for it. You cannot teach attitude. anything else you need to know, I can teach you, but I need someone who pays attention to detail, and you do that. And, I want you on my team, period.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I kind of got pulled onto a global stage with these people. And then that ended up getting parlayed into this opportunity to go to Scotland. And all along the way, I had these moments where I was like, but why me? Like, why would you want me to do that? Like, why wouldn't you want, an expert project manager who, they're trained in this and this is all they do? Or, for the Scotland role, like, why would you not pick someone already in branding in Scotland that's already there? You don't have to move them over there. I had all these like doubtful moments, and, and even of myself, of my own skills and abilities, I was like, why me? Why not someone else? And I really had to kind of like slap myself and be like, why not you, girl? Why not you?
Yeah.
There's plenty of people who don't feel ready for things, and they go for it anyway. And why can't you do that? Like, why can't you be one of those people that just takes that opportunity when it comes to you? Like, maybe you're more ready than you think. And so it's just a whole experience of how people, other people can maybe see things in you that you don't see yourself yet. And that can really propel you into a space you didn't know existed for you yet. And the whole point of it all, among many points in the book, is to be open. Be open to what life brings to you, because you don't know. We talk ourselves down about this stuff all the time, about why we shouldn't, couldn't, not ready. Let me go to get another degree and then I'll feel qualified. Let me take this course and then I'll feel ready. And really, you're probably already ready right now, with everything that you've got at the moment. We have more than we think. So, okay, I will get off my soapbox about this book, but that's what I'm hoping to share with the world through that Scotland book.
That's amazing. And we were talking before about some of our common interests over in the UK. So I can't wait for it to come out. Make sure you let me know, because I want to get that book and read it and kind of be able to share with my audience here. But that is a really good segue into my final question for you. What advice do you have for women right now, wherever they are in this moment?
Advice for women. Ooh, gosh. In this moment, wherever they are. I would say don't feel limited, wherever you are, and whatever dreams you have for yourself, that you might have maybe even shut yourself off from, thought to yourself, well, that time has passed, or, I'm too old now, or, all the things we tell ourselves. I would encourage you, just for one day, just to think. I saw this on a card recently. It's like in this mess of my desk somewhere, but it was like, if you were in this moment a superhero, what would your superhero character do? So kind of meaning, if you could do anything right now, you had the power to do it, what would you do, if you were unstoppable? And, just to take that unstoppable feeling with you through this day, through this week, through the rest of 2020, which arguably, could be viewed as very crappy, or, a really great opportunity. So I would just say to the ladies out there, get a hold of that unstoppable feeling, because you really have that in you. If you can find it, it can do some amazing things for you, take you some amazing places.
Okay. I have like 1 minute. What would you tell the young woman just getting started today?
Oh, your questions are so great. I love it. Oh my God. Okay. So, I would tell her to be open. You may have, this very set tunnel vision of your life, of what career you're going to have, when you're going to get married, where you're going to have kids, blah, 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 all these things, how we try to plan out our life. Yeah, Jill. And so it's not bad to have those plans, but just be open to where life can take you. And just because, you know, some plans may not work out when you want them, how you want them, certainly, you know, it tends to always happen like that. We don't always get it how we want it, when we want it. But be open to what life brings to you, and be open to those doors that, you know, become open before you, because you never know where it might lead. And you can be I am in a whole nother place than I ever dreamed of right now. And the things I've been able to take advantage of, I could not have even dreamt up for you in my 20s. So, you know, that's all to say, young ladies, take advantage of the things, you know, just be open. Don't think that opportunity can't be for you. You really could be.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for being here with us today. I'm so excited that I got to chat with you, and I want to chat with you more. You're very inspirational, and I get goosebumps when we chat. So let's do this again.
Yes, definitely. I definitely want to do that. And I want to ask you some awesome questions back. Like, you know, I'll have to have you on or something. And, you know,
I want to have coffee with you. Let's have coffee and do girl time. Thank you, Jill. I'm going to say bye to everyone watching really fast. Thank you, Jill and Krenz and Tim and everyone else who popped in. Andrea is awesome. Go find her at the Ads Agency on Instagram and Twitter. And your website is theadsagency.co.
Perfect. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, everyone. We will see you next Monday at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Christelle.